Okay, so you're welcome to this episode of this video, and in this video we are going to learn about JavaScript string. Now JavaScript string is any letter or number in quotes. So during the course of this video we are going to learn the following: how to get the length of a string, how to get any letter from a string, how to replace a letter in a string, how to delete a letter in a string, how to convert a string to an array, how to join two strings together, how to use the template string to dynamically inject a variable into a string. Then we are going to your task will be to learn other string methods because there are so many of them. So I'm just going to show you some of them. So let's begin. So I'll dive into my VS Code. My browser is already on, so I'll just highlight this and clean. So what is a string data type? As you saw from the definition, is anything that any number or alphabet that is inside a quote. Now, one of the reasons why JavaScript enforces the rule that you put your string inside a quote is because remember that the variable names is bulk of the variable name is usually in letters, alphabet. So if you type a letter as a value of a variable without it being in quote, it will assume that that is what a variable, and when it checks in the document and that variable has not been defined, it will throw an error. So just to clear that conflict, for string data types always use quotes. So if I say let last name be equal to Amadi, now just as I explained, it will assume that this Amadi is already a variable that has been declared. So if I do my console.log Amadi, no, not Amadi, last name, you notice I'll have an error. Now it's showing me reference error. Amadi is not defined. So just as I explained, it assumes that this Amadi is a variable defined elsewhere. So since it could not find it, it throws an error. If I put it inside a single or a double quote, then the error is gone. So the next thing for us to learn is how to check the length of a string. Sorry about that. So if I go back, not here. If I go back to my VS Code to check the length of a string, I'll just use dot length. So this is a property, and you tell me that the length of the string is 5, and that is true because if I count how many characters is inside the quote, is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is how to check the length of a string. So the variable name that you use to save the string data type, dot length, that will give you the length of the string. So let's move to the next one: how to get any letter from a string. Let me move back. So if I go back, you notice that inside this last name I have 5 characters, which is AMADI. So let's say I want to get A. How do I do that? So there's something that you need to remember, that in a string it has indexes, invisible index I cannot see. So this A here is in the 0 index. M is in one index. So let me just write a multi-line comment here. So I have A has 0 index, M has index 1, A again has index 2. So I believe you get a pattern now. D has index what? 3, and I has index 4. So using this index, we can access the characters of a string that is inside the string variable. So let me do another one here. So if I do a console.log and I put my variable name, so last name, and I put my square bracket, I type, so to get A, if I put index 0 there, I'll have what? A. So to get I, I'll put index what? 4. Got it right. So if I save, this is what is showing me I. So of course, if I put an index that does not exist, show me undefined. Now, using the square bracket is a nice method. So if I put 0, but there's also another one. So that another method, I can use last name dot the character at. So if I use 1, for example, it's going to get me icing. Then if you don't do this character at, there's a shortcut. If I use the at, you see it still gets me so anyone you feel comfortable with, if is to use this square bracket and the index, or to use this method and the index, that is nice. But the main thing is that using any of this method to get you the index. Now let me test your knowledge. And let's say I have a string, I have a variable name. So let full name be equal to a string of Amadi Chile. So let's say I want to get A and C. What will be the index? Now if I say console.log name. Now using this method, if we count from 0, so I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is not correct, because this space here is also has an index. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This space here is what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So actually the length of the array is, the length of the string is 11, but the highest index there is 10. So let's demo that. So if I say full name dot length, notice it to show me 11. So if I want to get A and C, so console.log full name dot at. So if I use 0, I'm going to get A, which is a capital A. So if I use 6, which is for C, I'm going to get what? C. That's very good. So using this method, we can access any character from a string. We can extract that. So the next one that I want to learn is how to replace a character in a string. So that is very, very nice. So let's say I want to replace A, that is the third one, or 0, 1, 2, this second A with maybe O or U. So I'm going to type this. So I'm going to type a console.log full name dot replace. So you use the replace method. It comes is inbuilt in JavaScript. So I will type the index that I want to replace, which is 2, and I want to replace which is what? Let's say U must be a string of U. So if I save that, you won't see the difference unless I bring this console.log down again. So console.log full name. So if I do that, you won't still see it unless I write this on by itself. So let me do that. Why is it not showing? Full name 012. Source value string expression. So why is it not showing? Let's see if we can fix this. I don't think I need to update this. So it's equal to this. Don't think I need to do that. So let me type again. Full name dot replace. So let's use 0. Replace it with P. So let's see what it will show. Something is fishy here. Okay, let me clear my console and start again. Okay. Oh, I've been using it wrongly. So this is the search value and the replacement string. Sorry about that. So the replace will search for the value that you want to change, so which is this small letter A. Then when it finds it, we want to replace it with U. So I think A, then I want to replace it with U. So that way it will work. So let's see dash the search string full name, search for small letter A and replace with U. We're not having that. Search value, then replace. So let me try a capital A. So if it didn't find it, Let me try updating this. Full name. Okay, so that is it. So I needed to update this. Okay, so if I try to replace with the small letter A, so you notice it now returns Amudi Chile. So this is how we replace any character. So if I want to replace the full Chile with you try, so you notice that if I save now, it will find Chile, which is not there, because remember JavaScript is case sensitive, so this has to be a capital C. So if I save now, you see that it has replaced the Chile with you try, which is very, very good. So we've learned how to replace a letter in a string. Now how to delete a letter in a string, which is very, very easy. So we use still the same replace method. So let's say I want to look for I. So the console.log look for full name is equal to full name dot replace so if I find I want to delete it, so I'll just put nothing or an empty string, which means nothing. So if it finds I here, which is this first one, likely so it will delete it. So if I do that and open my browser, you notice that the I after D has been deleted. And this example proves a point that if you're using this replace, it will only apply to the first one, actually if the search word occurs more than once. So that is it. Now this brings me to another method, the index of. So we have the index of and the last index of. So let's say I want to get the first I. So let's say I comment this out. I want to get the first I inside the full name. So I will say full name dot index of. Then the search index is I. So remember that according to our last update here, this one will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this I here is on index 4. Then why, if you come for this, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So is it going to show 4 or 11 now? So let us see the last index. So it's showing what? 4, because the last index only find the first match. So if there's another match, it doesn't care about it. Then if you wanted to find the last one, coming from the right hand side to the left hand side, you use last index of. Last index of. So if you use last index of, it's going to show you the 12. That means we made a mistake. Space. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we made a mistake. So it's actually 12. So using the index of returns the index if it finds it. But if it does not find it, like this capital I now, it will return a -1, showing that it could not find the word that of which you are looking for the index. Then there is another one called includes. So we use this include to check, just like the last index or the index, of to check if a character or a word exists in a string. So if for this includes, if it exists, it will return true, but if it does not exist, it will return false. So of course this one is false, but if I put a small letter I, to return what? If I save, to return true. That is nice. So with that, let's move to the next one. How to delete a string in an array. So you have seen how to use the replace method to do that. So the next one is how to convert a string to an array. So we don't know what an array is now, but you're going to see in a moment. So if I want to convert this full name to an array, so what I'll just do is to add dot split here, then an empty string space. So if I do that, notice the result. It then means it will split. So let me output it first of all. So in the last output, we have that Amadi and you thrive, and there's a space between them. So using this split now, if I put a space, means that I want it to, once it sees a space, it will add it as an item to the array. So we don't know array now, so let's just leave that. But if I remove the space, you notice how to be now. So everything is just in an array. So each of the character now has been put as an array, and you notice the space is also here. So the index for that space is what? Is 5, and the index for I is 12. That is the last index. Then the first index is what? Is 4. So that is it. This is how we convert a string to an array. So next we move to how to join two strings together. So to join two strings together, let's assume that we have a string. So I'll have let first name be equal to Amadi, then let other name, because I've used last name before, so let's other name be equal to Chile. So now if I want to join these two strings together, it's very simple. As you consider log first name plus other name. So if I do this, it's going to show me Chile joined together. So if I want to have a space between the name, just like this, so what I'll just do is I'll add a quote space, then add another plus. So if I do that, you see that the Amadi Chile is now showing with a space. So that's good, that's good. So that is another way we can add this. But there is another method using the dot concat, but that is very, very long. But you can learn that on your own. So the next one is how to use template string to join to dynamically inject a variable into a string. So for you to understand this, let's use one example. So let's say I have these two variables, the first name and the other name, and I want to make this sentence. My name is Amadi Chile. Proud to be a Nigerian. So something like this. How do we use the normal joining of string together or the normal concatenation to do this? So if I open here, I have the console.log. So if you notice, this my name here is, I'll type it correctly, but this my Amadi Chile here is inside two variables, which is what? The first name and other name. Then I'm proud to be a Nigerian is not a variable, so I'll type them. So this will look like this. So I'll have a single quote or a double quote, and I will say my name is space, then I'll put plus first name plus space plus other name plus space dot space plus. So all I'll just do just to copy this. I'm proud to be a Nigerian. So if I save this, I'll have this on my console. My name is Amar Chile. I'm proud to be a Nigerian. Now you notice that the two variables here is the first name and what? Other name. So if it changes here, it will affect here. But let's see how we use the template string now. The template string. Now the template string is not a single quote or a double quote. It is a backtick. It is above your tab key. So to do the same exercise using a template literal or a template string, this is what I will do. So I'll say a console.log backtick, then I'll put my name is space, then I'll put a variable, I'll just put first name, then space, other variable, other name, then dot, then space, and paste this. I am proud to be a Nigerian. So if I save, you notice that I have the same output, but which one is less stressful to type? You see that this one is less stressful because you don't have to be doing plus, just only this dollar sign, and you open your curly bracket, then inject your variable. So this is how to use the template string to dynamically inject a variable into a string. So there are so many string methods, so you can learn about them as the need arises. So this is it for this video. So in the next video, we are going to learn about JavaScript arrays.